Hey guys, so this is Shrek coming to you from the swamp, paintball and airsoft field. And today our video is going to cover the Bestco FH-DW30 PTO driven chipper that will work on our 33 horse Branson tractor. And what this piece of equipment will help us do at the field is manage all the blowdown. There is a lot of deciduous oak trees on our field, and they drop tons of branches. We got cottonwoods trees that drop tons of branches. We always burn quite a bit this time of year because we can, but it's difficult to burn when it's raining or the wood's soaked. So this will give us an option on how to do this. So we could chip up the chips and utilize the chips throughout the field to keep the mud down, just like they do put bedding in barns and stuff for animals. So we'll put chips down for other areas that we utilize right off the field, which will lower our expense, but it'll also help negate the cost of this piece of equipment. Now, I got this piece of equipment from Bestco.com. They're located down in between Eugene and Cottage Grove. They ship all over the world. They have a website, so Bestco.com, go check them out. They're really cool people. You actually speak to people who understand English, which is not a bad thing, but it helps me because I'm not bilingual. I think this unit cost me, I got it on sale. They had a sale. It cost us $1,375, and that shipped to our door. And it was phenomenal. It came FedEx freight. We have pallet forks for our tractor, so I was able to unload it. And now we're going to cut apart the metal strapping, and we're going to get to it. So I'm going to pause the video, set up some tools, and then I'll show little snippets throughout the assembly, and hopefully we'll get it ready to put on the tractor and get it ready to work. And then later, we'll do another video of us actually utilizing the chipper out on the field and showing you what it actually does. All right, guys, I'm gonna pause this and get going. All right, guys, I was preparing all my tools and I didn't realize there's metal banding, there's heavy duty wire I gotta cut loose, and zip ties, and this metal frame. And the metal frame, I think it's screwed into the pallet. So another thing I'm going to try to do is I'm going to save this and probably use it in other projects. So this is good material. People may call me cheap, but that's good material that I could utilize and save me from going to the metal store. So I'll be using my sheet metal cutters, my good pair of side cutters, my work gloves, and then I just picked this up. I bought it used off Facebook. It is a DeWalt 18 volt side 4.5 inch grinder, and I put the cutting wheel. I took the safety guard off because I don't know what dimension I'm going to have to do, but let's get into this. Let's start cutting this baby apart. So I'll probably stop the video halfway through to not make it so it's ridiculously long and boring, but I'll probably do a little bit of tear apart, stop the video, and then continue on. I do have to say, Bestco really gets their product well palletized, and I'm not going to use side cutters for that. So it came shipped well. It was not
Another thing, guys, always wear gloves. I know it sounds like a weenie thing to do, but
definitely wear gloves when you're dealing with this stuff. That metal banding, I used to work with a lot of it at the paper mill. And it is sharp. I've seen a lot of injuries with that stuff. And I'm putting all the metal in the scrap bin. Here's the drive shaft. Just found the instructions. Well, the instructions are zip tied on. So I'm going to pause the video. This makes pretty boring video. I'll probably get some of me cutting all the framing apart, but we're going to pause that real quick. Alright guys, so now we're getting to the grinding portion of it. I got all the wire banding except for some stuff way down on the bottom, which I'm going to try to move some stuff around. Oh, shoot, I'm just going to cut that to see it so I can get to it. But then we're going to get the hand grinder or side grinder out and this thing was really wired to this structure. So my little guy that does my scrap's gonna love me. I'll give him some good clean scrap. All right. So these are some arms. I found the instructions. Here's the PTO shaft. We're going to set these items aside. Get our handy dandy grinder. So, there's a bolt there. Sure enough, but it's also, that's weird. So this side bolts on. Okay, cool, good to know. So I'm gonna cut this off. Put the grinder on backwards of the piece. Someone pause the video. I need my spacer washer off my other grinder. So I bought this used. Now I know why it didn't come with all the little parts. So to be continued. Pause. All right. So all I had to do was add a little washer to the base of the grinder, and that's not a big deal. There's one side. So I think I'm going to cut this, side structure. Doggone it. Just don't have enough. That's cool. There's that side. Cut into the pallet a little bit. That sucks. That sucks. So I'm just going to cut that. Another thing I'm doing, I love these 18 volt DeWalt's. I know everybody's going to the 20 volts and all the high zoot stuff, but these things are rock solid, man. I put a lot of hours on these out on the field, and I use them in adverse conditions. So buying this used, but the guy said it was brand new, never been used, so it looks like it. And this is a fresh 18 volt XRP battery. I took it right off the charger, so I'm seeing how long this battery will work for me. almost one disc down. I'll probably have to change it after this, and I will pause the video, but this is going fairly smooth here. Light duty stuff, I'll tell you that. So I'm going to pause the video, I'll get the other side, and we'll get everything else exposed. Alright guys, so here's where my progress is so far. I've got it 3/4 of the way cut apart, but I don't want to cut this off just yet because it's stabilizing. This is the feed chute. The exhaust chute is over here. And this piece, I don't know if it's in frame or not. This piece right here fits up on top of here, and that's your exhaust where the chips come out. So I'm to the point now where I don't want to cut this apart just yet because I'm utilizing it, and this is fairly heavy, so I got to figure a way that I can put this on over here because the feed chute sits over here, and I'll definitely restream the camera. So I'm going to read the directions, and being old sucks, so I had to find my glasses, my reading glasses, take my safety glasses off, and read some directions. I'll come back with a plan. Okay guys, so you see I've made some progress. So what I'm going to have to do is I have to go get the tractor and use the tractor to lift this up into place. If I had another person really quick, it'd be really simple and easy, but calling a buddy or whatever it is, you know, to make that happen, I don't want to even worry about that. So we're just going to get it done really quick, per se. But once I get this into place, I got all the bolts they put the bolts inside the machine where they were mounted, where this is going to mount. So I pulled those all out, and I'll have to move a few things. But I'll bring the tractor utilizing the pallet forks and a strap. I'll lift that up into place, get it to where I can just wiggle it, put the 2 bolts in. I'll reposition the camera so you guys can see, and then we'll move on from there. All right, guys? So this is really, I like the challenge of doing things like this because I've never done this. The instructions suck. I mean, I'm not sponsored by these guys, and I'll be blunt with you, you know, but I'm fairly mechanically inclined, and I'm glad I am. One thing, if you're going to have a piece of property or a business or whatever, have some tools. Don't go cheap on your tools, because what's going to allow me to be productive and stay moving forward with this project is the amount of tools I have. So you may never use a tool but once a year, but when you need it, and it's there. All right, so let me go get the tractor. We'll get this taken care of. Alright guys, so what I got here is I put a lift strap on here, I rigged it to my forks. I'm going to reposition the tractor and get these 2 points close together. Then I'll put a couple bolts in, and it should be close enough to go. Let's get this so it's centered up. You can see this operation. Alright, let's get after it. Now whenever you're lifting something, make sure you're always aware of your pinch points of where things are going to fall, and try to keep yourself as safe as possible. Alright, so that worked out better than I thought. That was awesome. So we got the 2 hinge bolts in right here. And this whole assembly lifts off and on if I want to ever service the drum of the chipper. So let's start throwing some bolts at it and see where we are. Not going to take this off until I know I'm 100% secure and in place. I'm going to get a wobbly socket. I should have got a wobbly in the beginning, but wasn't sure. 18 millimeter. Fun and games. No wobbly in that big a size, so I will get my 3/8 wobbly adapter. Like I said, guys, it's always, you'll need one tool. Like I probably haven't used this wobbly adapter in forever, but it's going to be used today, and it keeps this project moving forward. Over tighten these just yet. I got to get the tractor out of the way. Got to get the feed chute back in place. So I'll pause the video while I get the tractor out of the way, and I can continue to move forward. All right, guys. So I got the tractor out of the way, and we're going to continue the installation. Wonder why. Oh, it's just... Maybe that's why I got this on sale. So, a little BFH action. Tap this into place. So the inner lip, where I'm having the problem now, the inner lip, actually what I'm going to do, there's a lot of movement on these hinge bolts, so I'm going to loosen them, see if I can pry this into place. Let's do that. Instead of beating on things, let's work on it a little smarter and not so hard. When you guys always ask the question, what do you do to enjoy your sport? That's what I do. Boy, that is just not wanting to go in there. It is hitting all along here. To keep that from falling on me, I'm going to tighten this up in the up position. And then I can get a little medieval on it. I don't want to take a chance of this thing swinging down and whacking me. Because I'm the only one at the place right now. So. Alright, see about this thing fitting in here. So, I gotta be careful of not putting my hands where they're gonna get smashed. Huh. Yeah, it's just off by the thickness of the metal. What can I do to fix this? There isn't enough movement on these pieces to allow it to slide up. I know that. So we tried that. Close line. Okay. All right. Plan B, I'm gonna pause, rethink this, but I'm closer than I was before, so hold on. Plan B coming up. All right, guys, so see the tools I had down there. So what I did to get this to fit, and now it fits like that, it's the way it's supposed to, is there's a little metal frame where this sheet metal goes through this framework right here, and then it's welded. Well, what they did is something was off in their jig when they did it, and it was just over, you know, in the way of this metal housing to fit. Now I looked at the drum, because the chipper drum spins in here. I looked at all that. We weren't going to have any clearance issues or nothing. So I did fix the problem. So that's a negative. So maybe that's why this unit was on, or these units were on sale or something. I don't know. It's got a warranty. I could have called and could have did all that, but I'm fairly comfortable at working on stuff with metal. And it was just off just a little bit, but the where it was located and how it was located was kind of awkward. So, like I said, having tools, it makes things work. There's just something about it. I mean, and it makes me feel good when I can tackle a problem and just move forward on it and deal with it. Yeah, I moved that piece of sheet metal, or that 1/8" plate that this is made out of. I moved it in the width of itself. Once I did, and right where it goes through, it was spot welded on the corners where the sides came together. I cut that spot weld, and that allowed that just enough to, and it's just perfect. It's not. It's just, see that it's a nice snug fit. So let's get these bolts in here. See about attacking this problem. Take this wobbly head off. So these bolts are an 18mm. They've got lock washers and flat washers. And I always like to start bolts by hand before I use an impact on them. Make sure they're not cross-threaded. I'm not going to put Loctite on them or anything like that because they have a lock washer in them. All right, now we're going to gun them down. There's that one. All right. Now this is kind of cool. I take these two bolts that I just tightened and loosened, and I can hinge it here. I can get in here for service, or this whole assembly, and I'll show you how this works. I need that wobbly. Doggone. At least I got a successful plan and got things dealt with. I know my millwright friends are going to be laughing at me, but oh well. Oh, no, right. There we go. Now there's a hinge bolt in the center down here. The same 18 millimeter that you take loose. Get my, what bolt is that? That's a 14 millimeter for this gas strut. So check this out. This bad boy tips all the way up here like this. Get my gas strut. Now I don't like using an impact on these pivot bolts like this because they're kind of small. So I like to feel the torque on them. And let's look at this when we got it exposed. So the wood comes in here and the chipper turns, chops it up and shoots it out. Now let's throw this back on. Whew. That. Put our hinge bolt or lock bolt into place, and then we'll assemble the chute. There's that. Now, since the directions were so awesome, let's spin this back. Since the directions were so awesome, I'm going to pause this. We're really long. All right, guys. So this took a little bit of figuring, but I got the feed chute assembly. And everything's not tightened, so I got this out over here, so I'll roll this around the camera. So once you tighten this unit down here, then this doesn't move. You loosen this rotates around, and this loosens, so you can aim your chips, and it tightens up. So that's that. So I'm going to gun these down really quick. I'm going to put it in this position so it's out of my way. It is a 13 millimeter on these little guys. And I'm going to walk around and do them in a pattern. Opposite each other. Let's see, that one was that one. So that's this one. So we'll go start. Over here. See if my food. Loosen up. Yeah, these gotta come loose just a tick. So that's why I got the nuts on it. Which one is overdone? Overtight one. Man, this thing, I do not recommend doing this on a day before a holiday, because they're down equally. There it goes. And then you tighten this like that, and it's stable. So that's how that works, guys. Whew. Just like that. So there's that. So I'm going to pause the camera, move it around, and we'll tighten the 3-point attachments on the front, and this bad boy is assembled. Then I'll give you my thoughts and my overview. Alright guys, so we're assembling the 3-point portion of the hitch. So this 3-point is set up for Cat 1 or Cat 2. And for you guys that are not tractor familiar with this, that's the diameter of these pins. This pin diameter here, this is Cat 1, this is Cat 2. So my tractor's Cat 1. I took this loose, putting it in here. It's nice, it's got a lock washer, flat washer, all that good stuff. And it's fine thread, which that's what you want. So I use my alignment tool. Anodizing really thick on these things. Well, that's good because it'll keep it from rusting. I'm using my, what size, 12-inch crescent hammer. I don't have an inch or a wrench big enough for these bad boys. If you notice, I've got a pipe wrench right there. All right, there's that one. Now see, I put my alignment tools over here, so when I'm putting my 3-point hitch on, that these go in like this, which is nice. To me, it's a nicer fit. I like that. So I'm gonna go over to the other side, break it loose, and get this, and then I'm gonna pre-grease where the drive shaft goes on. This out, put it in there. That's that there. I'm gonna pause the video, get the grease gun and the lubricant, and then we'll go over that. All right, guys. So I really like WD-40. I've been around it for a long time, and old guy problems. But hey, that's nice. I did not notice that. That is handy, guys. If you've ever hooked up a 3-point implement, you've had to get in here. My tractor does not have that. I wish it had that. I like the protection it offers, but shoot, I sure like that. It's got a greaser here. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna. Where's my oil? So to get to the oil, I gotta pull this top cover off. But right here, there's your motor alignment screws, all that for your your chipper. That's your gear reduction for your chipper. But I'm gonna put a little of this on it, WD-40. There's that. Now I'm gonna lubricate. We are going to lubricate this U-joint, man. This thing is handier than all get out. This little guy right here. It helps you get into places that it's hard to get in. Because sometimes you got to really pump to get grease in these things, especially when they're brand new. But you always want to grease your U-joints before you assemble them. Because you don't know, sometimes you set these guys out in the weather. Work that around till you get grease out of every joint. Nice and greased. So you release that, comes right off. You notice I'm wearing these black gloves. That's all handy as all get out. Because grease, especially this stuff that they recommend for this, is pretty funky. Let's see about popping that on there. This is sure a heck of a lot easier than trying to grease this while it's on there. Now I am going to put a little grease on these splines, even though I got a little WD-30. My old dad coming through. These things are heavy. Come on, man. Get on.
Sure been nice to have the instructions. I'll tell you that.
I will flat tell you that, guys. I'm going to pause this again. Double check my instructions one more time. The instructions on this whole thing have been really poor, but I've been able to get through it. All right, guys, so I got it fully assembled. Everything on the assembly was off. The directions for the first part were non-existent. It says go to PDF. Tried calling them. It could be because they could be closed for the holidays. It's December 23rd, so they could be shut down. I don't know. I left a message. I went to their website looking for a manual. They said they had manuals. No manual. So, but everything on this thing is just tough. I don't know if it's set out a long time or what the deal is. But I've got everything assembled, got everything ready to go. So the next video you'll see of us with the FH-DW30 from Bestco. It's the Farmer's Helper PTO driven wood chipper for a 30 horse. Will be us using it out on the field. So sorry about the length of the video. I'll try to cut it down best I can, but this was a pretty lengthy piece of equipment to assemble. Had some issues. I hope you've seen these issues. Hopefully this isn't my flail mower that I bought from this company. Not like this. That assembled really easily. This was a little different, but that's what it is. So if you like these videos or any of our videos, please hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, share them with your friends. Shrek the Swamp out. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.